There's plenty of bad news out there in entertainment lately. Yes, Kathleen Kennedy is trying to give Fleabag the reins of the Indiana Jones franchise. Sure, Star Wars has no idea what it's doing to please fans, and we could keep going and going. But there's great news, good news, fantastic news on the horizon when it comes to the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. And we've got the exclusive first look at some of that big news happening behind the scenes in the industry. And now you're also going to be ahead of the culture curve. Let's dive in and see how Mario is doing secretly. All right, folks, welcome back to another fantastic video here on the WDW Pro channel. It is such a joy to share our time with you. We're thankful for it. And folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe. And when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. We're talking about that notification bell. Now, we have talked many times in the past about Mario, about the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, which, by the way, we exclusively revealed on this channel and then had that confirmation that it was real, that it was coming by Chris Pratt, of all people. We've also exclusively revealed the Zelda movie here before anybody else. And although they have tried to hide it and make it seem like it's not coming, oh, it is. The Zelda movie is on the way. But today we want to talk about some of the inside the baseball kind of statistics that you all don't know, and I didn't until recently, when one of our sources came forward to tell me some deeply interesting information regarding Nintendo, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, Illumination, etc., and just how wonderfully things have gone. And I think that's going to prove to all of you just how well we are going to see more and more Mario and Nintendo properties popping up all over entertainment. Before we do that, let's go to Game Rant. We need to read this article to understand what's happening here. This is by Devin Ellis Friend. All features confirmed for Super Mario Bros. Wonder so far. Now, this is a new Mario game that has been announced, a new 2D side-scrolling platformer, and it looks amazing. Highly stylized with all kinds of new features and characters. It really is a reimagining of the type of game we've been playing since the mid-'80s, and we still can't get enough of it. Let's look at this. Super Mario Bros. Wonder was revealed as a surprise at the end of the latest Nintendo Direct, and it already looks to be one of the series' most unique entries at about 2.5 minutes of gameplay. It has already shown a few traits that make it stand apart from the rest of the Super Mario Bros. Series. The game will not be releasing until October, but the trailer made a strong enough first impression to ensure fans won't forget about it. In fact, it'll be worth seeing how many more new ideas the game will feature. I also find this fascinating because we just got to look as well at the first video of the new Sonic the Hedgehog 2D platformer, which looks great, actually. And so we could have a battle of Sega versus Nintendo once again with the 2D side-scrolling platformers. It's like we're going back to the 90s, but it's the best of it. With Mario being Nintendo's biggest franchise, rumors of new Super Mario games are bound to pop up frequently. After all, the series has not only released a lot of games, but it has extended its reach in several different directions. By the way, we also got the Mario RPG game remake coming. You can tell that they are ready to go back to the well and bring forth lots of Mario based on the success of the movie and, of course, the games. Also, it's worth noting, folks, that the head of Illumination, he now sits on the board of Nintendo. So if you're curious how closely these entities are going to align and work together, well, that's how closely. But here's the thing that this is a big deal and people are going to miss it. Here's what it says. The first detail worth noting is that for the first time, Daisy is playable in Super Mario Bros. After over 20 years of being relegated to side games, she joins the returning cast of Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad for Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Also of note is that in addition to Yoshi's recurring role as a rideable steed, one short scene in the trailer showed 4 players playing as 4 different Yoshis, implying a potentially expanded role for him as well. Daisy has been a popular character for a while, so it's good to see her finally get her due in a Super Mario Brothers platformer. Now, why does that matter? Why does it matter at all that Daisy is in this game? And who the heck is Daisy? Well, she's a princess. And that's a big deal because we have heard from sources that Illumination intends in the future to bring forth a princess movie. Now, we don't believe that is coming in the next year or 2 years or even 3 years. We think that is farther out on the horizon. There are other games that other games that we believe are being made into movies that are coming first. Those being Zelda, Metroid, even Super Punch-Out. But a princess movie is likely on the horizon. And we believe that they also want to push the princess line into the toy lines. They think that the princesses from Mario can be a significant merchandising wonder, to steal from the title of this game, once they get ready to launch that. And it could actually be something that would contend with the Disney princesses. So everybody, listen to what I'm saying right now. This is the first step as they bring Daisy into this game to create a princess line. Rosalina, Peach, Daisy, more. They intend to go after Disney's princesses line with the Mario princess line. It is going to take 5 to 7 to 8 years to build that brand, to create this foundation. But this is the start of it. Now, that's quite the silly thing, though, right? That you get this little, oh, we get Daisy in a video game. How cool, how neat. It's a mainline Mario game with Daisy. Oh, cool. And here I am saying, no. There's way more to this. I know it sounds a little out there, but I promise it is what they are doing, and it is hand in hand with Illumination as they begin to build out a full roster of an entertainment featuring the princesses. Now, I also want to go to the message that I have received from one of our highest level sources out there. And before we do, I want to thank this source. You have received fantastic information in the past. As an audience, as a listener of this channel, you have been ahead of the culture curve. You've had entertainment explained because this person has taken the risk to reach out and provide this information. And folks, it's time to dive into the latest that we've received. Here we go. It says, of course, the Mario movie was a great success, and you and your fellow YouTuber channels in your orbit have well covered the box office heights the movie scaled, seemingly effortlessly. But there's another yardstick for success that the movie has blown through, and it's not being mentioned in any online discourse. This brings me back to my good old days working on wide appeal licenses. And here's what it is. The bump in licensing, royalty, and partnership monies generated by the film actually covered the total costs of the movie. And yes, that includes promo and PR. Let's read the last sentence again. The bump in licensing royalty and partnership monies covered the entire cost of the movie. Now, what it says here is that means that the only increases in licensing partnership dollars are credited towards paying for the movie. The monies regularly brought in by the IP are not counted towards this achievement, since you would have generated those anyway, even without developing and marketing a movie. And that doesn't include upside revenue generated by the games. That's amazing, and how it used to be, especially at Lucasfilm, where they would pay for a movie before it was made just by collecting partnership dollars. That was always the goal. It says here, I speculate and wonder if Andor was able to pay for its first season that way. I think not. And the other collateral good news associated with the movie's licensing success is that this is shared with Nintendo's licensing partners. Everybody with Mario is now making money after the movie, and that means happy partners. Another key brought about by licensing success is that the number of active licensed categories and partnerships on the IP has grown beyond the usual ones like fast food, candy, and more. Think peanut butter tie-ins, ice cream bars, bicycles, even a major U.S. bank paying for the rights to put Mario characters on kids' Fire bank books and checks. Those and more weren't there before. And the benefits keep coming. Certain categories benefit more than others from the energy boost given to an IP by the release of a major piece of mass market media. These include the key apparel and linen categories, which are clear engagement reads. If anybody is willing to wear your logo, that means they are a plus customer. And by the way, they're a billboard for you. Oh, and also recruiting new customers to the fold, as well as reactivating old customers who had faded out for a variety of reasons. Today, new and old Nintendo partners only have one word: more. As a matter of fact, partners new and old are deluging Nintendo with proposals for the immediate and for when their next hit is ready to go. The source goes on to say that Nintendo and the Mario movie has hit an absolute grand slam, and we should look for all the results, all the typical actions that happen when you get a grand slam. Now, we followed up with the source to ask a few questions about some of these things and get some specificity. And here's what we've gotten. We asked for a total amount based on what the source knows, a total amount that has increased. And here's what we have. This is the big news, folks. As a result of the Mario movie, again, exclusively here on this channel, as a result of the Mario movie and the goodwill that has created with consumers around the world, royalty and promo partner bump. That means a lift, right? Over the former line. And by the way, Mario was no small franchise by any means. One of the biggest franchises out there. One of the biggest franchises out there. And yet the bump, after the Mario movie, it has increased by over $300 million USD for a period of 2 months before the movie release until the release on PVOD. That's right, folks. $300 million in increased revenue for royalty and promo partnerships. It's a very short period of time, and the dollars are still rolling in. The source goes on to specify, to be clear, this does not include background royalties. That means royalties and other partner dollars for the same period last year, as well as PVOD games, etc. It also does not include any theme park revenue except for the merchandise sales bump seen at gift shops. And again, just the bump of what usually is called royalties and partnership revenues. This is money that Nintendo made from third parties who wanted the rights to commercialize their brand in some way, something that has been declining annually at the Walt Disney Company. And remember, we believe Mario and the Mario franchise and the Nintendo cinematic universe poses the biggest threat to Disney possible. Remember those princesses? Remember how they're now beginning to integrate new princesses into the mainline games because they know they can sell princess toys, they can kick Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, they can kick Tangled and Frozen out of the big box retailer shelves if they get their princesses really moving. And when those little girls are sitting with their little brothers playing this new Mario game and they're playing as Princess Peach and Princess Daisy and perhaps as Toadette, etc., well, get ready because they're going to want to play with the dollies soon. They're going to have their Princess Peach kitchens, and they're going to have them if Nintendo has their way. Finally, we wrap up with the source saying, sure, the movie brought about the launch of way more SKUs, that's SKUs, for more partners, so it's obviously not a same for same. Talking about last year versus this year with only the movie pulling the train, because each partner, we're talking about General Foods and more, brought their own strengths, but still impressive. The mark of a wide appeal IP, that being an intellectual property. And it says, obviously, this is all over and above and beyond the actual box office. So, everything that you're seeing here, this $300 million bump in just a few months period, we don't have the full numbers since. $300 million in just a few months. Well, it's gravy. It's gravy. And Mario is making it rain. Well, folks, that's the good news for today. We don't want to bring you all negative news. And yes, we are going to talk about Star Wars. We're talking about the Rey movie this afternoon. Watch out for that video coming later today. But we got to talk about the good. We've got to inspire. And there is stuff to be excited about. There's plenty. Of course, we have Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning coming out. The market, the media, they've all said, this is not going to do well. It's going to make $55 million. And so funny. We came out yesterday morning's video, all about saying, no, it's not going to make $55 million. It's going to do quite well, actually. This is way too low. Your tracking's incorrect. You're not measuring in the right way. Why are you doing this? 5 hours later, the Hollywood Reporter comes out, apparently listening to the criticisms they were taking, and says, oh no, this is now on track to make 90 million plus. Well, that's almost double what they were predicting just hours before when the video came out. And folks, I'm here to tell you, it's going to make more than that. And so there's tons of very positive news out there between Tom Cruise, Mario, etc. And we need to reward these media entities, these properties, where you can take your kids to go see them, and guess what? You don't have to have an uncomfortable conversation on the way home. Rather, you can just concentrate on, hey, little Timmy, keep the popcorn out of your nose. You don't have to explain different college-level theories about how the world works and how people have genders, etc. when you're driving home and you put them in their car seat. So, we need to reward these properties. We're getting huge, huge outcomes out of Mario. Imagine it, $300 million in just a few months out of the Mario franchise after the movie comes out and slightly before. We don't even know the full numbers that we'll get when we get a look at the entire year's effects, but it should be huge. And if that 300 million, which we're exclusively reporting here on the channel, turns out to be true for those months, and we believe it is absolutely, then guess what, folks? We are looking at potentially $1 billion in increased partnership monies coming in for the Mario franchise for the year. It's a simple extrapolation of the number of months in the year compared to the data that we currently have. It is fantastic. And so, yes, we are going to cover Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars. We are going to cover Fleabag and Indiana Jones. We'll have a video out this afternoon on it. But we cannot miss sight of the fact that there are some companies out there who are getting this extremely right. And boy, for those companies, this is the time to strike indeed. Just think about the fact that Elemental is on its back. Lightyear and Strange World, well, they have suffered greatly and they have brought down the House of Mouse. The opportunity is there for these other companies to come in and take the gold, to steal the golden goose from the giant. And you know what else? I think that Disney has much to be afraid of, because Nintendo, with this move, they're looking and they're saying, you know what? We could put some princesses on those shelves. We could have Princess Peach kitchens. We could have dollies. We can have all of it. And we can shove Cinderella, Tangled, Frozen, etc. right on out of their retail space. And I believe it's true. So for Disney, perhaps this is even better, because this is the chance for them to reconfigure and learn their lesson. And they better, because Nintendo is coming for them. Illumination is coming for them. And yes, folks, the same guy driving all this, he happens to be now over DreamWorks as well, driving the Shrek franchise to come in and parody the Walt Disney Company. All of this is intensely fascinating, and we will cover it all here, because we endeavor to cover the good, the bad, and the in-between, to call the balls and strikes and give you the information you so need to explain entertainment and keep you ahead of the culture curve. It's what we do each and every day here. Well, folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, and when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. The conversation between myself and you comes to a close from my end. But now it's time for you to drop a comment down below. I covet your comments. I care about what you think. I would love to know what you're thinking about the Mario franchise, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, and what this could do, the impact on Disney. Drop a comment down below. If you are not yet a member of the channel, exclusive content is on your way. If you simply click that little join button, it is the price of a soda per month, and you get all kinds of content you won't see anywhere else. Well, folks, it's time to wrap this one up, but there are many more videos on the way. Stick with the WDW Pro channel for more entertainment news. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and you better believe it, keep having fun.
Floral, it's time for you to walk the plank.
What? Why?
Because you haven't subscribed to WDW Pro yet. Nor bookmark thatparkplace.com on your web browser to get great articles from great contributors.
What?